Hello, this is Rick Wallace, and I want to talk today about the NPS survey. It is a survey that was developed by Bain & Company, who is a big consulting firm out of Boston, and it's conducted with national companies across the country for the last several years. It is a two-question survey. It's very powerful, and I want to talk about it today and why it would be a good idea for you to have one conducted for your company. I'm fond of talking about the lies that hold businesses back or the false beliefs, and I think it holds true in the marketing area. These are some false beliefs or lies that I think hold businesses back and owners back. I just need to get my name out there. You hear that all the time. But think about it. There's a lot of businesses in your town that are household names that people don't buy from, or you don't buy from, or you don't frequent. So sometimes it can be very extremely expensive, but at the same time not very productive. The second one is it's all about frequency. I agree with that. And you need to have frequent communications with your prospects and your customers. However, it needs to be focused. You can't afford to be frequent to the whole world. You can't afford TV advertising, radio advertising, newspaper advertising that's not focused for most businesses. Marketing costs too much. If you do it the way I just said, yeah, it costs too much. But there are a lot of effective, efficient ways to market very, very efficiently and with low cost. There's no way to know if it's working. Well, that's not true. If you measure and you segment the actions you're taking, the tools you're using to go out into the market to promote your company, you can, in fact, measure what's effective and what's not effective. I tried that and it didn't work. Well, too often we don't give things a chance. Now, I'm not a proponent for continuing to do things that don't work, but we should try things more than once and tweak them, try them again, because they're proven to work. It's just how we go about doing it. My market's different. Well, every market, every business is different, but every market, every business is the same also. Here's another page of lies. To grow, I need to expand my market. I need a bigger territory. I need more prospects. I need to get a bigger opportunities out there and make it big. That can't be further from the truth. Back to my point about trying to market to the whole world, you can't do that effectively and efficiently. So you need to make your market smaller. We'll talk about that later. More cold calling. I'm not a believer in cold calling. I don't believe a sales rep should have to cold call. If we're doing an effective job of marketing, no one should have to go out and make cold calls. I can't afford to do more marketing. We've talked about that. If you do it wrong, you can't afford it. If you do it right, you can always afford it. Business is down because the phone isn't ringing. Lower prices will boost my business. Everybody buys on price. 30% of the market does buy on price, but those aren't the people you want to attract. There's always someone out there that's willing to go out of business before you are. And that's what getting in a price competition will buy you, is closing your door. One of the 5 big frustrations of small business owners is there's not enough profit in their business. Well, if you look at profitability in a business as a ladder, the bottom rung being the businesses that don't earn enough profit, the top of the ladder being those that earn great margins and great profits, then the bottom is based on commodities. These are companies that sell commodities. And a commodity to me is something that goes up and down based on the cost. The price goes up and down based on the cost. The next rung would be products and services discussed in terms of features and benefits provided by salespeople. That is the vast majority of small businesses out there. What we want to do is get one more or two more rungs up that ladder. The next level, you have solutions to problems and pain, and you fulfill unmet desires, needs, and wants provided by experts. That's when you start making good profits. And at the top of the ladder is to take it one more step and customize those experiences provided by experts. So be an expert, but have customized solutions to people's problems. So let's get down to my definition of marketing or promotion. And that is the use of focused, relevant, frequent communications. So yes, frequent, but they're focused, and they have to be relevant to the audience, or they become a problem. They become a headache. They become something that's trash, that's thrown away. To effectively and efficiently, so we want to be effective, but we also want to do it with the least amount of resources and get a good ROI in what we do, to get people with similar needs, wants, and fears. similar needs, wants, and fears. This as similar as we can, because if we can find people with similar needs, wants, and fears, our message can be relevant because it can be directed at those to know, like, and trust you. It's no longer just generate a lead and then have sales go out and close it. That's old marketing. Let's talk about new marketing. So how do we build a new marketing plan? Well, the first thing we do is we step back. We ask these 5 questions. What is our company's revenue goals over the next 12 months? Not only revenue goals, but how are we going to reach those goals? How many new customers do we need? How many customers in total do we need? What's our average sale need to be? Those types of questions need to be answered and goals set. From there, we can start taking actions. Then we step back and we determine who our exact target market is that'll purchase our services and purchase our products and services, as well as value what we have to sell. And that's what we call the ideal customer. We're going to profile that. What needs, wants, fears, pains does this ideal customer have when they purchase the products and services like ours? We need to understand that because our message needs to be relevant. And if we can understand these similar wants, needs, pains, and fears, then we can develop relevant information and relevant communications to reach them. What solutions does your company provide to cure the pains and fulfill the needs and wants? So what is our differentiator? What is our value that we bring to these people? We need to determine what that is. And our solution is remarkable enough to start a buzz and set you apart from the competitors. In other words, what's our differentiation? What makes us different? We can't be a me too. So that brings us to my favorite quote. It's by Seth Godin, who's an author, a marketing guru that I really respect. If you want to be the best in the world, make your world smaller. What he's saying is frequency, but with focus, with relevance. That we need to understand who our ideal customer is so that our message will be relevant to them and not waste money, resources, and pain on trying to market to everyone. It's an analogy that I use is like a pond with fish in it. You've got catfish, you've got bass. The bass live in the shallow water, the catfish live in the deep water. They both eat different things and attracted to bait in different ways. If you took a piece of liver, put it on a hook, and trolled it around quickly around that pond, you're not going to catch anything. But if you take that liver and you drop it down to the bottom of the pond and leave it there and leave it still, you're going to catch a catfish. And that's what this is all about. Determining who our ideal customers are, what their needs, wants, and pains and fears are, so that we can market to them with relevant information. So here we are, the NPS survey. What is it? It's 2 powerful questions that we deliver via email survey. It's only 2 questions. Customers don't mind filling it out. It's not 30 questions or 40 questions that make them mad every time they get one. This is very simple. They can do it in 2 minutes. The first question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to refer my company to your friends and associates? 10 meaning, 9 and 10 meaning without hesitation, I would refer you. It's a powerful question. It cuts through all the crap. It gets right down to the key information that we need to know. Do you love us enough to tell friends and associates about us? The second question is, based on your experiences with our company, how did that reflect on your answers to number 1? In other words, what things do you value doing business with us? Why do you like us? Why do you love us? What do we do for you that makes you so happy that you would refer us to your friends and associates? So just 2 questions. What we do with the first question is we take the percentage of people that gave us a 9 or 10, those are our promoters, and we subtract the ones that gave us 1 to 5s. Those are detractors. Those are people that don't like us. And we come up with a score. So if 70% of the people gave us a 9 or a 10 and 10% of the people gave us a 1 to 5, we got a score of 60. Now we can take that and benchmark it against national companies to see how our company stacks up from a customer service standpoint. Now, Bain developed this, and they found that companies that use this in their business and rally their troops around that score, that they have higher growth and higher earnings. They spend less on marketing, they grow organically, and they are highly selective, and they focus on referrals. Something I won't get into now, but building a business around referrals is powerful, and usually we don't know who to ask, but with this program we do. So what do I mean benchmark? Well, these are companies that have taken the survey, and there's more of them, and the information's available. But you can take your company score. On the right, you'll see small companies that I've done in Buffalo and how they have compare against some of these major companies. I just had an insurance company that scored a 94. I have a carpet care company that scored an 87. There's a 74, 68. The country club at a 24. They're in trouble. These are the kind of things you can do to benchmark your company about how well you're doing against them and rally your troops around. They understand quickly how this number was arrived at and what it means, and now let's make it better the next time we do the survey. Okay, now to the so what. What's in it for me? What's the benefits? Well, first of all, I talked about the benchmarking. This is something you can rally the troops around and increase your customer care. You can actually get and find out what you're doing wrong and fix it, and find out what you're doing right and do more of it. It's a gold mine for referrers. As I said before, you can build a powerful company around referrals. You need a formal program to do it, but the first question people usually ask is, who would I ask to refer me? This tells you 9s and 10s have raised their hand and said without hesitation they would refer you. It's a source for testimonials. You take all these comments that people make about how they love you, and you can just call them up and say, thanks for taking the survey. Do you mind if we use your quote in our marketing material? Now you can start building trust through use of testimonials. Turn detractors into promoters. Call those people up that had a problem, fix their problem, and you know it as well as I do that you've had this happen where somebody is really complaining. You actually fix their problem, they become some of your best customers. You also, again, find out things you're doing wrong that you can fix. It's also a tool to help determine our differentiator. We're going to get all these comments, and we're going to find by looking at those that are most frequent what makes us different. What do people value about us, and what makes us different so that we can build a differentiator around that. And it identifies our ideal customers. These 9s and 10s. We can take a snapshot of those 9s and 10s, and we'll find out a little bit about our ideal customers. The next slide we'll talk about is how we delve a little deeper into that using this tool.